What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is a special late night edition of Big Games BS, where we kind of just talk a little bit about FSU football, spring ball practice going on. I'm in Tallahassee, Florida today. So I want always every year I typically try to catch the first practice of spring ball, and I wasn't able to catch it the first one this year. So today is practice 2 of FSU this spring, and I'll give you some of my thoughts. Tomorrow we will have we'll break down. Tomorrow we'll talk about the pro day as well. I'll be out there tomorrow. We'll do our big games BS. We'll do a lot of different things, a lot of stuff going on. This isn't kind of the time or the place for it. Obviously there's more to the NCAA investigations, to the ACC lawsuits going on tomorrow. I believe it's an important filing that's going to go down in North Carolina. We'll discuss that and probably have a couple of special shows. We'll have some content that'll be coming out unique. Just a couple housekeeping things before we go into it. We're 566 subs away from 6,000. Once we get to 6,000, we will be doing 3 giveaways. We'll be doing a $500 giveaway live on Big Games BS. We'll give away a $100 giveaway and however many likes for that show to members. And if you don't know if you're a member, basically, if you're watching this on X, you need to watch this on YouTube. And if you chat, if it doesn't show you're green, you're not a member. It's $3.99. And a lot of different other varying categories to be able to become a member. But you don't have to be a member to participate in the larger giveaway. With the goal for us to get to 10,000 subs before football season. We get to 10,000 subs before football season, we'll do a $1,000 giveaway, a $500 giveaway, and then however many likes, as well as we'll be giving away 2 season tickets to FSU football games along with a parking pass. So lots of gifts, lots of reasons to watch the show outside of just being just supporting a former old FSU as I pick on my son's goddad my goddaughter's father for messing up for his alma mater. He ran track in Kentucky for messing up. So members, feel free to ask questions. Actually, anybody who wants to ask a question, please ask it on YouTube. You can watch it on Twitter, however you want to watch it, but we'll respond I'll respond to as many members of questions as I possibly can. That does help these kind of shows go. I will tell you what I think is important, but if there's some things that you would like to know that are a little bit more pertinent, I could probably answer some of those questions for you. One of the things about spring is spring sparks new beginnings. So obviously last season was incredible. Did not end the way that most FSU fans would like it to end. Obviously with the blowout, but not getting an opportunity to participate in the College Football Invitational really put a damper on things. But one of the good things about Mike Norvell and this FSU team is that they've kept things in perspective. And one of the things you have to always do in sports is keep the main thing the main thing. You can't let last year's setbacks trickle over into the previous year. The goal every year is to meet the standard, and the standard is the standard, and the standard is over everything. What we have to do is, then the standard is competing for championships. Florida State was able to accomplish something that they hadn't accomplished in quite some time in winning an Atlantic Coast Conference championship, which should have put them in position to be able to compete for a college football invitational national championship. But they didn't. So that doesn't mean you don't go back and try to do the exact same thing in the next season. So before we get into those things, I'll go straight into the question and answers. So shout out to Grill Master. Grill Master puts, what position group stood out the most to you? The DBs, the secondary. And that also goes into what Eric Lindbaugh asked, how is DBU looking with our young guys? Our defensive backfield looks incredible. They're long, they're athletic, they're fast, they're physical, and they're deep. All the qualities, as I joke, of having a fuller D. You want to be long, big, uh, aggressive, physical, and you wanted to penetrate deep. And that's kind of what we're able to do. They made it a lot more difficult for a talented wide receiver core that's still trying to gel when they have the experience. And what do I mean by that? You've got you got AZ, you got Ventrell Cypress. Both are NFL quality DBs, NFL corners. Both are corners that you will probably take early. You've got Shaheem Brown, who's a safety that's going to be drafted. You've got Conrad Hussey. You had Earl Little. You had Greedy Vance. You've got, I know people don't like it, but you got Kevin Knowles. You got Edwin Joseph. You got a lot of guys out there that made different plays at different times, and you're still getting better. And that's not even talking about the pups like Charles Lester, Charles Lester, who had his battles. It was a great battle with LaWayne McCoy, with LaWayne getting the better of him in one-on-ones and 7-on-7, and Lester probably getting the better of him coming back in team, which is really, really where it matters. Just that was some really, really good things moving forward when it all came to that. But the young guys are looking really, really good, in my opinion. Tyrone Robinson asked, "Do you think this offense will put up points this year?" I do. That is a hallmark of a Mike Norvell all coached offense. They will put up points. They will do numbers, and we'll just kind of go into that. Sorry. Let me find my notes here. But going into it, just purely off of looks, the team looks the part. The team definitely looks the part, and that was the thing that I went in looking for. Like, what is this team going to remind me of? Is this team going to look different? Is this team going to be different? Are they bigger? Are they smaller? What should I compare them to? A lot of different emotions, a lot of different things kind of going forward with all of this. And when I tell you, I expected to see a little bit more of a drop off, a little bit less like, but when I walked on the field and I looked at the size, everybody looks like they belong. And if you go back and you watch me talk about these things over the last course of the first couple of years, and I got to bring Trigger, I got to bring him the franchise so that he can give his opinion. Because Trey is unapologetic. Trey literally said when he watched his first FSU practice, I believe he was in 6 or 7? No, was he 6 or 7? I forgot which one. But he asked, "Dad, is this a high school team or is this a college team?" And you would not say that now. A lot of people talk about body types. We want to bring in body types. We want this to look this way. We want this to look that way. Well, the truth, the proof is in the pudding. Every one of these guys looks like they belong. They literally look like they belong. They look like they could play anywhere. And when you take that and you think about what FSU lost 12 guys who went to the combine. FSU lost 3 guys, I believe, that are going to participate in Pro Day, who were key contributors as well. So the talent that they lost should really fucking affects what was on the field, and it should have done this. But when you look at what they replaced it with and how much better everybody's got, you can't help but say that, yo, damn. And the only step back I saw was there's rust. The guys just aren't, like the quarterbacks and the wide receivers aren't necessarily in rhythm. They aren't necessarily in sync as you would want them to be. Um, you know, just like, well, but when I look at the line, offensive line looks massive. And not just the first set of linemen. The first set of linemen, the second set of linemen, almost going to the third set. When I look at the D line, as I was just talking about on the spaces, it's while we need more depth at the D tackle position, when you have as many cats on the D line, it allows you to create a variety. Like what's funny is like Buddy at Florida talks about he has his she shed and he has multiple looks. Well, it's easy to run multiple looks when you have multiple talents. And when you think about Dorje and how he's a bigger defensive end, Lolo's a bigger defensive end. And I was just talking to people. I'm not saying this is what we saw in practice. I'm just saying this as a guy who knows football. You can actually run a 3-down front with what's available to them because of the type of defensive ends you have. You have defensive ends that can play the 5. You have a D tackle that can play the 4-eye, but you also have multiple defensive ends that can play the stand-up rush linebacker. Marvin Jones can play that. Patrick Payton has done that at times. We've actually seen looks last season where they basically had a stand-up defensive end, which is nothing more than running a 3-down. While I take a pause for the cause, shout out to Tyrone Robinson for becoming a member. You're getting us closer to that 500 member total that we want. Thank you for your donation. Remember, all proceeds from this channel go toward the MFTK Foundation and us doing more different things. Also, Tyrone puts up a good point. D-Jack that I also brought up. Daryl Jackson has experience playing the zero technique, which is the nose, which is what you want in a 3-down. So if you can actually have a guy that's able to do that, you can now have packages that can just make things sexy and do have a bunch of fun, which is really what it's about. Being creative with what you have. Perfect example is Miami. What people don't realize is what Miami did. Miami had so many injuries at defensive end and had so much depth at linebacker. They shifted to a 3-down. They shifted to a 3-3 stack. It completely changed it. We have so many safeties and so many DBs, especially that are particularly over 200. We have a whole bunch of DNs, and where we're lacking is at D tackle and linebacker. But we're not even really truly lacking at linebacker like everybody thinks we are. Now, we'll start with what the focus of everybody is and what the question is how do we respond in a world post Jordan Travis? Who's the quarterback going to be? Did we want Cam Ward? Oh, we missed on Cam Ward, so we settled for DJU. Is DJU the next guy? Personally, I believe DJU is the next guy, and I think DJU will be fine. DJU has a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio his last 2 seasons. If we have a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, we will be fine at Florida State. Now, the problem with that is nobody told Brock Glenn that he's not competing for the starting job. And Brock Glenn looked really good today. DJU had times where he looked good today as well. You know who looked good? Number 10, the walk-on. Actually, the 4-star kid. That kid can spin it, man. That kid's a really good athlete. But the quarterback room competition is something that I haven't seen. We haven't seen this because we had a pseudo one when they had Mackenzie Milton. But Mackenzie Milton couldn't walk. Mackenzie Milton would have been a great Disney story. But I still to this day believe if Jay Trav were either healthy or played that whole season, we would have been in a different position. But we've had Jay Trav the last 2 years, and it's been Jay Trav. But now we've got a quarterback room where everybody is going for yes, Jackson is the walk-on quarterback. That was a 4-star. And what's happening is DJU is still processing the playbook, and you can see the tools, but you can just see a guy who's thinking. And athletes don't think, they just do. But man, when it comes off, when that ball comes off of his hand, it goes. He's got the tool set. He's got the things that you want in your quarterback. He's got the stuff. He's got the goods. And it's going to be interesting though, because you got a guy like Brock Glenn who, as I put, he said he ain't no bitch. He said, hey, just so y'all know, I did go to Elite 11. I am indeed that guy. And Brock's like, you're going to have to, I'm not going to just give it to you. You're going to have to take it from me. And he didn't need to go on a podcast to say that. I was able to, you could see it. You can see with how he's taking command of the drills. You can see how he's doing stuff. That's not saying that there's quarterback controversy or anything like that. That's just saying I love competition. Competition is great. It's healthy. It's good for the soul. So that's the quarterback. I do think DJU will be the guy because there's just some physical tools and things that DJU possesses that Brock, as a redshirt freshman, still got to get some. But I'm like feeling Brock. Also, Luke looked really good as well at times. Luke's just never Luke ain't never seen this kind of fucking speed before. Ain't no way, and like it ain't no high school game that can prepare you for what we've been seeing. Yeah. Never mind. This is why we don't respond to Twitter comments. Bleed Garnet, appreciate you for watching though. You weren't there. But again, getting rid of the ball, and actually that's one of the things that I think a lot of them, all of them are holding on to the ball a little bit too long. And I think they got to get used to it. And again, it's not just them. You've got wide receivers who are still trying to the veterans in the offense outside of Megamon are Hakeem Williams, Destin Hill, Montravius Jacobs, and I'm trying to think who I'm missing right now. That was a wide receiver, but like, you got Brown that's here, you got Benson, you've got Span who's still trying to figure out who he is and who he's not. So you've got wide receivers that Kentron Portier, yeah, but you got wide receivers that are still Williamson as well. You've got wide receivers who are just trying to figure out how to get it in. And it's not looking, it's looking rusty, and they will eventually be able to get to where they need to get. But at this point, like it's football talk, and if you've ever played the defense, if the defense ain't ahead of the offense at this point, we got problems. The defense should always be ahead of the offense at this point. But I'll get to the wide receivers here in a second. Running backs, I like to say. Roydell, I said, I don't know why it does. I hate that shit. But anyways, Roydell, I said looked like Trayshawn Ward. And that was me watching the clips. Seeing him today, he does have the patience of Trayshawn, but he's got a burst that's pretty good. He's a home run threat. He is a home run threat. He can take the ball to the house. He has great vision. I'm liking what I see out of that. Obviously, my God, can't even think of his name. My other Samoan. Why am I having a brain fart here? Number 9. Been here the whole time. I like him. I've always said I think I like him more as a slot. but he's definitely that weight gain that he's put on. He's almost 200 pounds. It's crazy when you've been talking about somebody all day and then you fucking forget their name. That's fucking embarrassing. Toafili, thank you. Lawrence Toafili clearly is going to be the guy. And what I said and what I'm looking at is, and this was wild, and this is going to be a testament to how good of a coach Yak is. You can have another year where you have a guy who's really close to 1,000 yards rushing. You can have another guy who's going to be close to 1,000 yards on purpose, like probably like 600, 400. And you can have another guy that's going to get to 300, 400 yards, 3 to 400 yards all purpose coming out of your backfield. And I can see that between Roydell, Toafili, and I'm going to be honest with you, Cam Davis is going to make it hard to not be able to see that football field. Cam, when I first walked on that field, I said, who the fuck is 3? Is 3 the kid from Alabama? They told me no, he's not the kid from Alabama. They told me that's Cam Davis. And I said, immediately I need to send my kids to Albany, Georgia. I think whatever they're doing, I need my children to have that done as well. It's amazing. Cam Davis looks great. I can't believe he's as big as he is. He's not fat. He's explosive. He's all these different things. And that still leaves Sam Singleton, who's gotten bigger. And I've seen him. He's probably the most explosive running back we got. And it leaves Keziah, who's not a bad running back. We got better losing an NFL back. And another damn good back is C.J. Campbell going to FAU, where he probably will start at FAU. Like, the running back room got better when people left. And that's what's true. That's truly wild to me. It's no other way to explain it. They're just good. I just going back through some of this. Tyrone put out, I honestly think DJ is going to be a parallel, maybe even a step up to me. J Trav took a step back to me. He had those sports cars. They relied on the 50-50 ball too much. Doesn't use the passing tree. I just think you gotta go back. One of the cool things that I do, and I don't know if you're new to the channel, Tyrone, but appreciate you definitely becoming a member. Is we actually have a breakdown of every game. Like, I literally go over every game. We watch it, and we'll do that again in the fall. We'll probably do some more film watch because I like people being educated. And that 50-50 ball thing was brought up a lot by our beat, and a lot of people, like, what happens is there's terminology that gets thrown around that we as a fan base tend to like and gravitate toward because it feels like it makes sense. A 50-50 ball is a jump ball that's on the side, and that's a contested ball. Now, we threw a lot of contested balls, not because we relied on the 50-50 ball. It's because our guys didn't get separation like that, and we had bigger possession receivers. We did not have take the top off the defensive type guy. We have those now. Second, a 50-50 ball is not a post. It's not attacking the middle of the field. Those are not 50-50 balls. Go look at the ball chart in which J Trav threw, and you're going to see how much we attack the middle of the field, and you're going to see how much truth is not in that. We did not rely on the 50-50 ball a lot, as much as people think. It's what people felt. And on this channel, we don't rely on feelings. We rely on facts and what the film, upon further inspection, shows us. And that's why J Trav is considered by the few GMs, three GMs that I talked to. I don't think he's getting drafted this high, but even with the ankle injury, he's considered a 3rd round pick. So, like, J Trav did really well. Like, and he did, and in those who rely on the 50-50 ball, as many drops as we had, we would have had way more turnovers. And J Trav didn't turn the ball over. But I do think what I do think DJU provides us is a better weapon when it comes to making a decision to run the ball. I think Jay Trav hurt himself by not running. And obviously, the one time he did run, that was a design run, but nobody could track for somebody coming from behind the back, from tackling, from pursuit. Like, that's just something you can't account for. But that's not me picking on you, but I do a lot of film breakdown. I love watching film. I love doing breakdowns like that. I encourage anybody. We literally have it. You don't have to go through all of the stuff. We have it in a playlist, and you can just go click on it. And during the season, we do it live for members. So when I say we do it live for members, like literally, like right now, everybody's watching on Twitter, or because I'm showing game film and I don't own that, when I put it on YouTube, they'll shut my stream down. So we actually put it up on, like, I do a closed network stream, and then we can talk about, if you're a member, we can talk, people ask questions, do a whole bunch of other different shit, and then we record it and then we post it up on YouTube. But just something for people who, if you're a football junkie, you're a football nerd. I also use real terminology that we use in football rooms, like none of this made up statistic shit, but that's just me. I don't knock anybody for doing that. A lot of people do those things. That's cool. But running backs, wide receivers, we talked about them a little bit. Destin Hill, Hakeem Williams. And those are the guys that stood out the most to me at the wide receiver positions. But, I did see it today out of Camden Fryer. I did see some good stuff. LaWayne McCoy was giving Charles Lester the business in 7-on-7 and 1-on-1s. Charles got him back in team, but it's great to see that friendly competition kind of going on back and forth with those guys. Deuce is going to be a guy that I want to watch for the spring, because we're over the scholarship limit. And he's the guy that has everything. Like, he's tall, he's fast, he's physical at times, but sometimes it feels like he has, like, they call it yips in baseball. Like, he just forgets. Like, he just routine catches, he just drops. And sometimes our guys got a little more physical on a guy who's that big. But I think, like, if he's the guy that gets it together, he is the X factor. So I'm hoping the best for him. The guy that we need, two guys we need, but one in particular right now, is we need Malik Benson to take the top off the top of the defense guy. He's the guy to be the deep ball threat. That's something we haven't had truly consistent in the last 2 years. We need a guy that forces the DB, especially if they play as a man, to turn and it takes the safety with him, so that we can have Akeem, our tight ends, or everybody else kind of go forward and do what they need to do. But the wide receivers and the DBs were going after it, getting real chippy. The tight end room, I tweeted out Landon Thomas. Landon Thomas is really good. I can see it. When he comes out of his three-point stance, his routes are really, really good. He's explosive, catches the ball well. When he gains that 30 pounds, it's going to be necessary to be a consistent, dominant tight end. I think he's going to be really, really good weapon for us. Murlock is a guy that's got to get more consistent with his hands. To have such a big frame and catch radius, he's got to be easy yards. He's got to be boom. They got the post cover, they got Keem covered, they got the check down with the running back cover. Boom, throw the ball, give me 10 yards, fall down. I don't even give a fuck if you fall down, but we got to be able to throw the ball to you, and you got to be able to catch it, and you got to be able to continue to press forward. We got to have that out of that position group. Another guy that I do believe, Jackson West, got a little shit in his neck. I like that. He's a very tough guy. My bad. Oh, man, my bad, dog. Shoot, my bad. I definitely didn't mean to. I hope I didn't disrespect you, baby. I didn't mean nothing by it, Tyrone. I was just letting you know that I appreciate that. I just was hanging out with Pop DeLoach today. Shout out. We talk for real over here, man. So if you met me, then you know how I am. But the tight end room is the room that, I'll be honest with you, would have liked more, but I didn't see it today. secondary shorts. I come back full pads, probably be even better. So we'll see. I do know I like Coach Thompson to have those guys develop and those guys doing great things. Defensive end position is probably one of the deepest positions that we have. I really like what I saw with Mark with Shea Tree Jr. I really like what I saw. Obviously, Patrick Payton, Byron Turner is a guy who made some plays today. Really do that. Like, it's just very deep. Lolo is one of those guys that if you look at him from far away, you think he's short because he's so big, and he's just a thick guy. But you'll see him continue to develop and get better. I'm trying to think what other defensive end just stood out. Can't really get into that about that, but our DN room is probably, again, one of those things where top to bottom we're probably as talented. I heard Jared Verse say that. Tremaine Johnson said that they weren't just blowing smoke. Those guys are really good. Going to the D tackle, Daryl Jackson. I talked about him. He fucking looks amazing. Farmer is there. Farmer, Farmer had, I think Farmer had that surgery right before the bowl game, so I think he's still recovering with some of those things. Moving forward with that. What else we got? White boy from Colorado State. He ain't Fisk, but he's gonna be. I like him. I like what I see with him. He already gained 15 pounds. He's got the long flowing hair. Appreciate you, Ocala. No, Jaden Jones is the one who I was looking at. 44, no knee brace. I didn't know who he was because he didn't have the knee brace. Now he doesn't have the knee brace. He looks really good. I couldn't even front on it. Like, he's moving well. It's a lot of room for guys to be able to make moves. S. Dot, you asked which defensive end is moving inside. I couldn't even tell you that, bro. I don't know. Till Dog put, this may be the most physical offense I've seen at FSU in a couple of decades. We'll see. I'll know more about pads. They were getting really chippy. Them and the wide receivers and the DBs were getting really chippy. Can't really see what the offensive D line do in shorts. It's just not the same. Doris J, I talked about him. He looked good. I think if anybody was going to move inside, he would be a guy. But I think it'll be situational things. It ain't going to be something where, like, he's a DN. He's a good DN. I'm excited about that. You didn't hear anything about Crow joining the staff. That was a conversation on Twitter that we all had. Crow wants to be on staff. Crow, good people, man. Crow. Ernie was there. Ernie will be on staff. Ernie's doing this thing. Me and him got a chance to talk a little bit today. We'll talk more. Ernie wants to coach. Ernie is a guy that needs to coach. Crow is a guy that needs to coach. Ernie might be a little bit more. My dog Crow is a lot more outspoken than Ernie. Is not to suggest that Ernie doesn't speak his mind. It's just a little bit different. My guy Crow is my guy Crow. Having played against them both in high school and played with them both as teammates, I thoroughly enjoy listening to them discuss football. And I really believe that the next generation of football players could be positively impacted by both of them being around. My guy Crow sometimes doesn't play well with others at times, but that doesn't mean he's not a great guy. You just got to know what you're getting, but you know what you are getting with Cromartie, a hard ass working motherfucker, and a guy who's going to do the best for his guys and coach them up. And I think with a guy like with with our DB coach, Patrick Surtain and Fuller, I think, those guys would be very, very well. But moving on to linebackers, Murphy was a hell of a get for us. I think with guys like Murphy, guys like Omar, Omar Graham wasn't really doing much today. Blake Nicholson, who needs more reps at linebacker. You got a lot of guys over there that I believe are better than what we're giving credit to. And I get it. We've got this body of work that has shown us that the only way to get better is through high school recruiting. And the only thing that's somewhat similar to what this transfer portal is the old school shit that we used to do. What was it? Old school junior college transfer, junior college. And it was hard to build rosters with basically a bunch of misfit toys. But that's not the way the game is now. And what you got to do is, until they prove inadequate, and they haven't proven that yet, they've gotten better every year, you have to kind of accept what we got. So we may not get 4 or 5-star linebackers every class. But when you got Murphy, who was a 4-star, if I remember correctly, Nicholson, who was a 4-star, you got another 4-star in there somewhere else. We're looking the part. Cryer was a 4-star, if I remember correctly. Cryer looks the part. A lot of these guys are looking the part. Nicholson, they're saying, should be exponentially better just by actually being able to focus on playing the linebacker position for a full season. He hasn't been able to do those things. And I'll say this, DJ Lundy is probably the guy who, in my opinion, had one of the better days of practice that I saw today. DJ Lundy looked good doing things that I'm not used to saying he can do, which is cover. He looked better in coverage. He was able to break on the ball better. He looks faster. He looks more fluid. He looks good. And I was impressed by DJ, and I have high expectations for DJ, and it's kind of one of those things why I was a little upset when he left, and I never said anything like, oh, well, he wasn't no good, we didn't need him anyway, because that's a fucking lie. We do fucking need DJ. DJ is really, really good. So there's that. Earl Little, didn't see much of him today. He was limited action. He looked good though. From in the limited action, I saw him at 7-on-7. Trying to think. DJ did lose a little bit of weight. Green Machine put Crow definitely going to speak his mind, but he has a wealth of knowledge about the game, though. That's why I love my brother. He definitely going to talk, and he loves Florida State. Somebody asked, what positions do you think we add? We need to add help. I am of the ilk that we don't just go out and add anything. I think we're going to get, if the linebacker from Charlotte graduates like he's supposed to, I believe we add him if he still wants to come. But I know there was some things where his transfer credits and grades were not grades. Grades being the issue doesn't necessarily mean he was dumb. It just means he needs to do some different things. I think we can't really focus on – the reason why I can't focus on what do we add is because I know we still got to subtract. And I don't like being the guy that talks about guys not being here, right? I don't want to – that's not my job. My job is to critique, but my job is not to say, hey, this guy sucks, this guy needs to go home, we need that guy's scholarship. That's how you create a bad environment. As a guy who's been through the things that they've gone through, there's a plethora of reasons why somebody may be playing bad, may not be playing bad. And I don't necessarily know all of those things, and I don't want to judge those young men too harshly, having been in their shoes. I'll leave that to the guys who ain't never done this shit before, who always have such a great idea. But I do think if we find another D tackle, because I think we lack depth there, we'll get there. I don't necessarily think there's just another left tackle that's just going to jump into our loving arms. I think Darius Washington is the guy that's going to have to be the guy for that. I'm sorry, it ain't going to be Armella there unless Darius gets hurt. Armella will get a shot inside. I'm of the ilk that you don't. Yeah, you develop at this level, but you play at this level. Somebody Eric put, is the reduction just this year, the next 2 years? It doesn't matter how we do it. We gotta give up 5 scholarships over the next 2 years. So we can do 2 this year, 3 next year. We can do all 5 this year and then expand next year. It doesn't really matter how it goes. Big game is your homeboy that used to help Odell. Is he still in talks? You're shit. And God damn it, there's that CTE. You're talking about Jerry. I don't know Jerry. Jerry played before me. I've just heard a lot about Jerry. Jerry was a starting D tackle on a national championship team in '99. Jerry is good friends with Travis, who I played with, Travis Johnson. And, I know Jerry would come back and ask, but I don't know if he's been asked. But I do know Mike has a lot of the off-season stuff. I think a lot of the off-field money, I think this stuff will kind of come into play after spring is over with. And we'll consider. Speaking of which, check this. Hey, on the Dead Homies, ask CJ. And my shout out to my boy D Haven. D Haven. What did them Garnet and Gold girls in the recruiting assistants look like when you were there? Because I know what they looked like when I was there, man. And God damn, boy. Whew. Listen, if you ever see me tweet, like, you gotta go watch the Kevin Hart special. I don't know which one it was, but he says, "Look at my eyes, roll them." Like, he was talking about how old people say stuff like they still got it. Like, put the key in the door, lock it. Like, that's me saying. Or if I talk about my dog. Those who don't know D Haven is a fellow no. Also a thrower. Big time throws coach. Listen, man. Hey, I don't know who got the whispering and talking to Miguel Blanco, but hey, man, Miguel got one out there that looked like vintage Kimora Lee Simmons. Like, I was in that thing. Like, hey, man, who the ethnic looking Asian girl over there? Because she can recruit me. They got some talent over there, man. They got some eye candy. I ain't like, very professional. Weren't trying to like not in that come look at me type of good lookingness, but it's there. It's there. Like, I don't know what you want, man. Like, listen, I'm a very heterosexual male. Them women was bad. And if I was in college, now the problem is I am a grown-ass man. I'm a really grown-ass man, so I can't be looked like 18 to 19-year-olds don't do shit for me. But I also understand how coaching young men, being a former young man, I know how this shit works. And, hey, my new catchphrase for all my guys in here, you find yourself feeling like you're becoming a creeper, guy. I know how some of y'all look at Area 51. Trust me, I get it. I'm a breeder. That kind of shit. Like, she's tall, big, powerful, explosive Amazonian looking woman. They're adorable. You find yourself seeing one, just say, "Oh my God." And this will keep you from being like Drea, the male version of Drea, or all this other stuff. Just say, "Oh my God, they're so adorable." I did that, completely changed the way to get. Now the girls like my daughter. So just listen, she's adorable, and then it doesn't even bother you. But I'm with you. It's the exact same reason why I came to cheerleaders. Having a friend who was from my high school who was a cheerleader at Florida State, and then having a god brother who ended up being a cheerleader. Story for another day. Don't ask me about my god brother being a cheerleader. We're not going to talk about that. But he was a very good point guard. He definitely distributed a lot of sorry to the cheerleaders that were hurt from back in the day. Everybody needs a villain in their origin story. So I pray I was that for you. But the Garden Gold guys were dope. And I always give shout out to one. Shout out to Kendra Brown. Kendra was almost the first ex-Miss Coleman. But KJ Sampson, how's KJ Sampson looking? And do you think he will help a little this season? KJ looked really, really good. Lions look good. Lions look good. We have we got some D tackles that again, everybody's talking about these body types. We got the fucking body types. They actually look. I think even D Haven was one of the ones that said a while ago, like a couple years ago, was just like we look small. You can't walk on that field anymore and say we look small. Shout out to the Moore Center. A lot of damage, a lot of wild. If Study Hall could talk, like that could be a whole series. Like if I would protect the names would be protected to save the innocent. A lot of people are upstanding husbands and wives. Some of them are pastors, like preachers' wives. I don't want anybody's life to be dismayed. So, Primetime Mac asked, "How did KJ Kirkland look?" We looked fine. To be honest with you, our secondary looked like they did last season. Wasn't a lot of touchdowns thrown on them this year. A couple big plays. Akeem made a big play. Jalen Brown made a big play. Destin Hill made a big play. But for the most part, the defense dominated the day. So it's kind of hard to just point one guy out. Obviously no big hits. They weren't in pads. You've seen the turnovers. Shout out to Mike. And Greedy Vance got a turnover. Mike is gonna get up. Mike gonna get on you now. Like the standard is the standard. And I seen Greedy try to break on the ball and he missed it. And boy, when I tell you, man, Mike was all in him. And Mike, when Deuce dropped the pass, Mike was in him. When you didn't score, you didn't do these things. And this is the other side of it, man. Mike gonna coach you, bro. Your coach gonna coach you, and Mike gonna coach you, and Mike gonna be in your face, man. I talked to Fitz, and I talked to my Aussie, oi guy. We're gonna always have tits for Fitz campaign. He makes his field goal. I believe in rewarding good behavior. If you guys are new to this channel and you don't like talking like that, man, you can go somewhere else, man. This is how we talk around here. We talk real. I'm a jock through and through. And when I was when I was Fitz's age, nothing could get me actually hell shit. Now, it could motivate me a little bit more. And give me a good because the older I get, with great ass comes too much responsibilities, man. The asses are out of control. All these BBLs and all this other shit, man. But you know what's always good? Good pair of tits, man. The older I get, the more I appreciate the memories. And I think that's when we saw the corner turn is when we launched the Tits for Fitz campaign. So if you didn't know where Tits for Fitz came from, Tits for Fitz is from right here, man. And I'm, whatever that young lady, the co-ed, that or co-eds. The more the merrier. Why have 2 when you can have 4? Why have 4 when you can have 8? Why have 8 when you can have 88? I mean, listen, the more the merrier. If you're ever in Charleston, South Carolina, Fitz, trust me, the tits are on me, brother. I'll make sure you go to Cheetah, or if you like them darker, go to Generation X. We'll make sure you are taken care of, sir. You go there and you tell them the one big game James sent you, and my partners will know what to do after that, sir. As long as you're kicking that ball through them 2 poles, I will make sure. Oh man, I almost got graphic on that, but we're not going to do. We're not going to get into all that. Bottom line is Tits for Fits is the campaign. We got to make sure. We got to make sure you're doing the right thing. You get a stand like you. But yes, he knows. He knows. All done. I'm telling you guys, it's benefits in the membership, man. You are all in member. You good. You go to Charleston. It's 3 strip clubs you can go to. If you're an all-in member with Den Media Group, you let me know you're going to Charleston. I will make sure you are taken care of. Shoot, listen, Adrian's heard me say way worse. If you ain't at the tailgate, like people think I'm wild, I'm calm here. Tyrone Robinson puts, how does the O-line look? O-line looks fine, solid, like we belong. I would like to see. I want to see this in pass before I go and give the full. But I mean, as far as the eye test, we look really, really good. What did Lucas look out there like live? All linemen look the same without real pads. I want to see the aggressiveness. I can't wait to watch inside drills. Inside drills is going to be dope. Andre, shout out to Harris Teeter. I did not know I was not familiar with Harris Teeter's game. That shit is delicious. That is shit. I know why women in Charleston got dump trucks. $6.99 for a tub of chicken, and that's you're gonna have ass with that. Yes, if anybody got any more questions about the scrimmage, things going on, we'll wrap this up. If not, tomorrow we will not have Big Games BS at 9:30 because I will be at Pro Day. We will have it a little bit later on in the afternoon. We will also have a Pro Day recap where we will post a lot of shit about Pro Day and things of that nature, and just keep it moving, man. Appreciate everybody who's on the channel. Jalen Lucas. I love it. That boy is stout, man. Very pretty big. Very big on the lower half, and he's able to feel the punts. I'm interested to see what that's going to look like in the long run. We got a bunch of people watching this on X. I appreciate you guys watching this on X. I appreciate your comments too. Unfortunately, we only respond to comments on the YouTube, and the YouTube is on my my actual page. Appreciate you guys for checking it out though. But YouTube pays the bills. Check us out there. Again, we have 455 people watching live between the different channels. And did you know that if 455 people went and subscribed to Den Media Group, that would get us to 5,889 subs, which will get us closer to 6,000. Once we get to 6,000 subs, we'll give away cash giveaway. $500 to somebody watching Big Games BS live. We will give away $100 to a member and the amount of likes to a member. Hope y'all bracket didn't get fucked up like mine did with Kentucky. So I'm not going to win the $150. But if you're a member, we do things like bracket giveaways. We'll do stuff. We'll do other kind of prizes. Every Wednesday, We give away every Wednesday of every home game to FSU. We give away a pair of tickets to the game. If we get to 10,000 subs, we'll give away a pair of season tickets to somebody and a parking pass. These are all things that if you're bitching about how expensive it is to get the games, we do that. Members, we have the hotel deals. So if you're bitching about how much hotels are in Tallahassee, we have hookups to make sure that we can get you guys in a hotel, in particular, spring game weekend. Or like if you were in Tallahassee this weekend, I probably could have hooked you up too. I looked up a hotel for this weekend in Tallahassee. That shit was $650 a night. But that's because there's a lot of other different things. You know what, Eric? Eric, you asked a very good question. You ask a lot of good questions. NCAA football video game giveaway. Primetime Max, shout out for saying it. It's real. It's not bullshitting you. Even if I don't, I give the money. The money does get to go to a real person. Ramon wins more than anybody else. We'll come up with something. We get a little bit more involvement. When does the video game come out? Is it in July or is it in June? If anybody knows when the NCAA video game comes out. Because I think we could do a giveaway. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that. You know what? Do a giveaway, and I may end up having buy the game and get Miguel Blanco to sign it. That might be kind of cool. Anyways, long story short. Subscribe to the channel, like it, support those who support you, and help you guys get to different things. I appreciate everybody for being here. I have to make sure I just can't end it with gunshots anymore, because that's how you get your whole fucking YouTube channel jammed up like I did the other day. I appreciate you guys for all being here. See you guys tomorrow with a pro day breakdown and Big Games BS. Y'all have a good evening.